тачку! Минус турист!
Hey everyone, this is Hired Ops. This is a standalone follow-up to Contract Wars, which was a popular browser-based online FPS that started in 2010. And it's effectively Contract Wars 2.0, just without the browser and under the name of Hired Ops. This released into Steam Early Access in 2016. And it originally sold for $10 and had a dedicated group of players that were constantly coming back as they continue to make updates. But now that it's gone free to play, it's actually brought in a lot of new players, which Steam Charts tells a very positive tale. If you are looking at the factions that are fighting here, you'll probably see Bear and USEC, and that might actually remind you of another game, Escape from Tarkov. And the reason for that is there's actually there's actually a really interesting story here. Battlestate Games makes Escape from Tarkov, and Absolute Soft made Contract Wars and has made Hired Ops. Now, while they are two companies, they are owned by the same person. So they share the same engine and lore, named Russia 2028. Now, as far as the timeline, it goes Contract Wars, Escape from Tarkov, and then Hired Ops. So with Hired Ops coming after Escape from Tarkov, this is actually the reason you are escaping from Tarkov. The game has been affectionately referred to as Escape from Tarkov's brother, and it's not really that far off. This is a smaller game. The stakes are a lot less than what can happen when you're playing Escape from Tarkov. I actually just noticed that it says 2028 on this red dot or Cobra site, which I think is a really nice touch. I didn't quite pick up on that before. So I think that the way that these games are kind of tied to each other, it would be kind of cool if Escape from Tarkov was on Steam, or Hired Ops was a part of Escape from Tarkov, because I could see there being a reason why you would maybe want to play one over the other. Me personally, I'm enjoying Hired Ops much more than Escape from Tarkov. It just kind of lines up with my personal preference. I like bite-sized multiplayer games like this. The game currently features 4 modes of play. There's Deathmatch, which is what this is. Team Deathmatch, which I'll show in a little bit. Then there's Target Designation, and then Tactical Conquest, which was the shorter clip at the beginning of the video. There's 7 maps in total, but not all maps work on all of the game modes. And you can actually decide which modes you want to play, or which maps you want to play on, and data centers, and all of that. There's 4 classes of operators. Each of them are customizable. You can unlock cosmetic items. You can equip different weapons, and then actually customize those weapons to have like different sights, which have different characteristics. So a certain sight might give you better accuracy but less mobility, or more recoil, things of that nature, that like you really have to take into consideration what your preferences are, and your play style, and like having those things sync up. The game lets you select contracts. If you buy into their premium model, you'll get access to more contracts, but otherwise, in free, you can only select one contract at a time to completion. This is just a really fun game. Now, you'll see that I'm often going into like a shopping menu and purchasing things. The reason for that is, you can see in the upper right hand corner how much is in my wallet currently. And so you can actually buy upgrades, and it lists everything out that you're getting buffed by on that left side. And so it kind of rewards being a good player. You get money even if you die, but you're not really going to make much money in that way. And you really have to be kind of tactical in what you purchase too, because there will be items that reduce bleeding, like I was just suffering from. Buying that upgrade is going to prevent it so I don't constantly lose health due to like a grazing shot that causes me to bleed. Another interesting thing to note is that if you switch classes, the upgrades that you've purchased do not transfer over. So there's actually kind of a penalty of sorts that prevents you from, just switching classes based on the needs. So maybe switching to recon for long-range sniping because people are staying at opposite ends of the map. Well, you're going to lose out on all of those upgrades that you purchased as, like a destroyer or something. So it takes into consideration those kinds of things where players could hot swap to different classes to, make it more advantageous for them to win, when that really doesn't, that's not how it should be. And this game handles that really well. You can purchase, things like grenades and health packs and stuff for more survivability, which is more important on the other modes rather than deathmatch. You can call in special weapons, fire off ultimates. Those kind of are in line, so when you see that shop menu, like the things under special weapon, that's what you can purchase for it. That'll go into that slot. I was having a really good round here. The map in certain modes will actually have multiple spawn points, but in here you're just kind of getting randomly spawned into one of the locations. This game is gorgeous. It is really good to look at. I've got everything cranked up, and it runs meticulously. If I had anything negative to say about it, it seems like right now, at least, there's not a way to like group up with friends. This is very much a one-person multiplayer game, and for the team-based objective modes, you're gonna have to play with strangers and cooperate with them. There's voice chat, there's text chat. It works well enough. I do wish there was a way that I could play with friends. I feel like it's the one element that's missing. Maybe it'll come along in the future, but I mean, as it stands, it's fine without it. In my experience, I haven't really bought into the special items or anything because, the time to death can be rather quick, so it doesn't make sense to spend any kind of amount of currency on like health items to boost you or whatever, because a respawn kind of fixes that, unless it's in a mode where death makes a difference. Alright, so I won that, and this is a game you can play right now. It has a small hard drive footprint, and it has really solid progression, gameplay, and a free-to-play system that isn't trying to shove purchases down your throat. If even the idea or the act of playing Escape from Tarkov was overwhelming, Hired Ops is more than welcoming. I'm going to go ahead and put a link to the game into the description. And I'm going to go ahead and shut up and just let the rest of this team deathmatch round play out. Thanks for watching, and if you like the video, leave a like. If you don't like the video, dislike it. Let us know how we're doing. Thanks.
Минус турист! Завалил его! Это 200-й! Это сделано! Завалил Юсека! Цель уничтожена! Минус турист! Минус один! Цель уничтожена! Завалил его! Этот сделан! Чужая граната! Цель уничтожена! Минус один! Завалил Юсека! Завалил его! Завалил Юсека! Это 200-й! Завалил Юсека! Это 200-й! Минусану! Меняю магазин! Это 200-й! Это 200-й! двухсотый! Цель уничтожена! Завалил Юсека! Цель уничтожена! Цель двухсотый! Да! Этот двухсотый! Минус турист! Этот сделан! Минус один! Минус один! Да! Минусанул! Завалил его! Уничтожено! Да! Минус один! Один готов! Заряжаю! Перезаряд! Минус турист! Заряжаюсь! Это сделано! Минус турист! Завалил Юсека! Цель уничтожена! Цель уничтожена! Цель уничтожена! Готов! Этот сделан! Один готов! Встречаем нашего ВИПа. Завалил его! Завалил его! Есть дело! Завалил Юсека! Цель уничтожена! Перезарядка!
Меняю магазин!
Минус один! Цель уничтожена!
Перезарядка!
Завалил Юсека!
Меняю магазин!
Минус турист! Это сделано! Завалил его! Отлично сработали.